What do you get when you combine a really crappy Mario clone with a even crappier clone of the Donkey Kong theme song? Well, if your answer is lawsuits, you might be right, but it's for a good cause, because that song was written in Clojure using my library called Edna, but it ran in a browser just now. Okay? So how did that happen? Figure that one out. I released a new version of Edna that makes this possible. And you're probably thinking, okay, so you created an MP3 file and then you copied it into your ClojureScript game and then you played it. No, actually, that's too easy. And also, if you have to do that, then when you want to change the song later, you have to go back to the Edna project, recreate the song, the file, and then copy it over again. And that's stupid, you know? We're not cavemen here, guys. Especially when you use Clojure, you want instant feedback, code reloading. So I want that for my music too. And since I really enjoy doing stuff in the browser, I was not able to before, but I figured out a way to do it. And so I'm going to show you it now. And if you stick around, which I know you will, I'm going to show you a couple pretty amazing things that you can do as a consequence of this that that I was not even originally planning to do. So, first of all, let's just go to the code here. So this is just a normal little ClojureScript game. But, oddly enough, I have a Clojure file inside of it with my musical score written in Edna. Now, why is this significant? Well, it's significant because ClojureScript macros run on the JVM. This is something that confuses people sometimes, but I'm actually using it to my advantage here because I'm running Edna in a macro. And I'm saying, okay, create my song, but return it as a data URI, which is a big string that web browsers can play as music. And then in my ClojureScript code right here, I just say, okay, create me an audio element, and then run the macro right here, and then play it. Now, why is this better than just creating an MP3 and putting it in your project? Because watch this. I want to change the octave to 3, make it a little bit lower. Okay. Now you can see the ClojureScript is recompiling, and I admit this does add some time to the compilation process, but still, it's not too bad. Check this out. Boom! You can just edit your Edna score right there, and it's part of the compilation process of your game. Like you don't need to keep going back and forth. Okay, let's change that to a guitar. And I'm also memoizing it. I don't know if that helps, but I figured that would make it faster. I guess it doesn't help here because we're changing it, but it's recompiling again because I made 2 different changes. There you go. So there's the guitar. The one I like the best is, there's a whole list of these MIDI instruments. And there's one called Electric Guitar Clean. Clean. And it kind of reminds me of the way it sounded in Donkey Kong itself. So let's check that out. Yeah, there we go. So you can just keep playing with this, and we're still in our project. And the cool part is when you are ready to build your game to distribute it with advanced compilation and everything, that song is going to be embedded in your JavaScript file. Yeah, no shit. And it's encoded in base 64. So it actually does add some size. So if you want to, export it as a binary file, you can do that too. But for stuff like this, it's actually way more convenient to do it like this. So that's really neat. And of course, I can, show you how to edit the score, but you should just watch my other video for that because I don't feel like doing it right now. Now, I said there were some other cool things that I did not even really expect, but I realized, wait a minute. So Edna can make music in a browser. It can hook into Clojure script. Wouldn't it be cool if someone made a cloud IDE where you could actually make Edna music completely online without even anything installed on your system? Well, folks, guess what? Someone did make it, and it's yours truly. So I'm going to log in here, nightcoders.net, and look at that. There's a new option here called Music, and it basically lets you make an Edna project. So I'm going to call this Jammin' with Zach. Let's do that. And we're going to create the project here. This is just as of today, by the way, that I figured out how to get this working on my website. And you can see it created a CLJ file with this song in it, which is going to be Final Fantasy song, and then this little bit right here. And that's all you need. You can see it's compiling here. Bum, 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 bum. And don't worry about these warnings. That's just because I don't know how to configure a Linux server. So it's giving me all this weird crap. Boom! Isn't that awesome? And okay. Explain what's going on. Nightcoders.net compiled that on my server, and it's sent it down to the browser. Okay, and the reason you heard it playing is because this Clojure script REPL tab is actually running the app in an iframe. So, so you don't even need to click View App. Technically, you can just hear it right away because it's running inside of here. But you get the same effect, right? You can still change this to, let's do an organ. That might sound weird. And you can see it's recompiling there. Whoa! It sounds pretty cool. But this is all happening without anything even running on my system. This is straight through my website. So that's the kind of stuff you can do with the new version of Edna. So, and then you can export it and run the same thing locally if you want. But that's pretty awesome. So one more thing which I realized I could do because of this feature, and that is, well, you can see it if you go to the Edna GitHub. Okay. I rewrote the README here. It's got a lot of new crap in it. And you'll notice this link here, try the playable examples. Well, I make a, what do you call it, documentation generator called Dynadoc. And I realized, wait a minute, if I can make music run on a browser now, then that means I can use Dynadoc to create playable examples that run in a browser. So yeah, that's what this is. I won't play that one again. This one is a little clip from Dueling Banjos. Just to show you how to make two songs play at the same time. And you can see these are more simple examples. Like this is how you just make notes play. Blah, 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 blah. I need to add more examples because there's only a few here. Like here's an example of a chord. Now, you're probably wondering, can I actually edit this? Well, no. If you try to edit it, you'll actually see there's an error. You can't edit it in the browser because it still requires a JVM to produce the music. So I can't create that much magic for you, but I can at least generate these automatically. Like I did not hand make all of this. This is just normal Dynadoc stuff, and I just embedded with that same macro thing that you saw before. I just embedded these songs directly in it. So later on, I can fire up Dynadoc, add a couple new examples, rebuild, boom, and I'll have more playable examples. So that's another really neat thing that I can do now because of the new version of Edna. So yeah, that's all I got right now. Again, this is really only possible because the folks who work on Alda, particularly Dave, but lots of contributors as well. They're working on making exporting for Alda, and so I'm making use of it for Edna. So yeah, check that out, nightcoders.net. It's also in Nightcode, like it was before. So if you want to run it, I actually was doing it the other day with my two younger sisters, and I made them download Nightcode. They had never downloaded it before, and I made them download it, but they're very musically inclined, unlike me. So the three of us made Stairway to Heaven with Edna using Nightcode, and it was their first time coding, and they actually like did really well. So yeah, hope you like it. If not, screw you.